Hey guys, OGalbina here, bringing you guys another Draft League Twitter discussion. Today I have a little bit more of a light-hearted topic, nothing too crazy analysis-wise. I just want to know what your guys' all-time kill leader, KO leader, and Draft League is. Now, not everybody keeps their own personal stats, but most people have a general idea of what they've used the best, and some people, like myself, love tracking their stats. It is probably my absolute favorite part about Draft League, or at least one of them. I can show you the doc really quick. I keep track of everything, and you'll see right here I have my record, championships, playoffs, I have a bunch of these things, and then I have, like, legitimately 95% of the leagues I've played in ever down here at the bottom. I'm sure you see a couple that are even ongoing right now and things like that, WPF and BBR and things like that. So I wanted to know what your guys' #1 kill leader is. I don't know if you guys saw on the sheet, but mine is going to be Victini. I have 96 kills with Victini in the 7 times I've drafted him. I drafted him in one Nat Dex League in Gen 9, but that's the only Nat Dex League I've really played in, and he's obviously not in the Dex yet, so I haven't really been able to get to that 100 mark. I'm really hoping he comes back in a DLC, because I'd love to have a Pokemon hit that 100 mark, and I thought mine was pretty high, but you guys really surprised me with yours. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy today's Twitter discussion video, be sure to drop a like on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. We have plenty of Draft League content going up each and every day, and if everybody here subscribed, I think we get to that 3,000 mark that we're shooting for the end of the year, so I'd really appreciate it. And then one more quick little announcement. This is going to be the first video I talk about it. I'm probably going to talk about it a ton, but we have a merch store now. If you ever wanted to support me, support the Carolina Roaring Moon, things like that, if you go to our YouTube channel right here and you click on the little store tab, you should be able to see a bunch of different little things. There's only actually 3 items. I don't know why it's showing 15 of them, but if you click on From Spring right here, it'll take you to a little merch page, and we have a sweater, which is a little bit more expensive, $35, but we also have smaller things like a Carolina Roaring Moon sticker. You can get it for your laptop, whatever, or a coffee mug. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to cop a coffee mug and a sweatshirt for myself, but if you guys want to help me out, I would really appreciate it. And yeah, with that being said, we can kind of jump into this thread just a little bit. Let's go ahead. The first one was a Discord submission from my good buddy Darkrai, who's a very, very good Pokemon player. He's been playing for a long time, and I told you I thought my 96 was a lot. Darkrai has drafted Mega DNC 10 times and has 116 kills with it. Necrozma is in second place with 69, but 116 is a crazy, crazy amount for Mega DNC. Now, D is one of my favorite Pokemon as well. Like, I absolutely love the thing. Look, you can even see it on my list right here. What am I at? I'm at 50 kills with DNC, 29 and 6 times, but definitely not 116. That's pretty incredible. Oops, wrong Twitter tab. I'm going to delete that just in case. Bam. But yeah, pretty cool stuff from Darkrai. That's definitely a pretty large amount there. Next up, we have Corey with 100 solely in APA from Meloetta, which is pretty crazy. Now, if you guys don't know Corey or Bandit Caterpie, he's been around the scene for a long time, and it's weird. Like, a lot of people have their trademark Pokemon, and Corey's is most definitely Meloetta. I've never seen someone use Meloetta more and better. Again, the classic AV Charge Beam Meloetta is just 100% a Corey, staple here. He's definitely done it really, really well. Next up is Benny asking here if we keep stats. I definitely do. Next up is Liv, who isn't playing as much as she used to, but Liv used to play a lot of draft back in the day. But she has Extra Drill by kill number and Kepu Koko by best KD. I know my stats aren't fully updated, but the only ones in contention were unreasonably far, so the stats I didn't log won't impact. So his Extra Drill is 54 kills and 42 deaths. It's played in 51 games, just averaging about a kill a game, which is pretty crazy. But this Coco is pretty insane. 46 and 21 is pretty incredible, especially only in 32 games. I mean, it's almost at that extra kill count, and it's played in like 30 or like 60% of the games that it has, so that's pretty cool. We have yet another extra drill here from Shadow's Dead. He said, I didn't play nearly as much as some of y'all, but extra drill is my lifetime kill leader. 28 kills, drafted twice, 21 games played, 13 deaths for a plus 15. Absolutely love this mod. Please bring him back. Drill is a ton of fun. I think if Drill was in Paldea Dex right now, he would be massacring, draft-wise, at the very least, because if you look at the decks, there's really not that many ground resists. The dex is really, really hurting for ground resist. I think I talked about this before in a like prior tier list video. That's why Pokemon like Garchomp feel impossible to switch into right now. Even ones like Crook feel impossible to switch into right now. And Excadrill would massacre some teams with Sand. And both two of the 3 Sand setters are in the game right now. So like Drill T-Tar would be pretty cool. I could totally see like Terra Drill being really cool as well. Just being an absolute nuke in the sand. I mean, imagine like Terra Ground, Sand Force, or even Terra Rock on top of its, rock sides to, let it hit those flying types a little more. This thing would be a monster. Terra Bug to just nuke through grass types with X-Scissor. I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm definitely a big drill guy. Oh my gosh, another drill. What in the world? I promise you, it's not planned like this. We've had like the same Pokemon for everybody so far though. But we have Thriller here saying Excadrill or Dracovish. With Drill, I'm sure it's like 65 kills and 10 deaths. Then followed by Drill with 65 kills and 15 deaths. Both with help in and out of the sand. Sand is a really fun playstyle. A lot of people love sand. It's really cool. Alright, next up we have Burning here saying a tie between Mega Diancie and Mamoswine right now. Mega D is 35 and 15 with 3 times drafted. Mamo is 35 and 20 with 4 times drafted. Single season is way more interesting with Terravac Excalibur getting 29 kills in an 8-game season. So what I'm hearing, well, 1, another Mega Diancie, but 2, if we drafted Terra, or even just Bax again, it would probably get your kill leader only being drafted twice, which is pretty crazy, but 29 and 8 is a ridiculous number. I think my most ridiculous, back in the days of, what do you call it, Dynamax, right? Where we were trying Dynamax in early Gen 8. Let me go ahead and find my Elite Duck. I'm going to go to the kills. There we go. I'm going to see if you guys can see it. So here's like my top, 100 kills. Let's see if you can find it right here. Here's our boy. 31 kills in 10 games for Kingler. We allowed tier 5 Dynamax captains in that season to try it out and see if we could do it. And man, that thing absolutely massacred my Kingler data. It was getting like 3-4 kills a game consistently. It was an absolute monster, and that's when we kind of realized, wow, Dynamax is awful and we need to ban it. Goodbye Dynamax. So I definitely feel that having a crazy season, but Bax is obviously a little bit more understandable than Kingler, to be completely honest. Alright, we have Josh next, another person who's been playing for a very, very long time. Not as much Gen 9 because he doesn't like the format, giving me big Kirby vibes, but still definitely very, very good. We have him with Mew as his kill leader, 14 times drafted, 86 kills, 54 deaths. Then it's Mega Mawile, Mamoswine, which we've seen a lot of those so far, right? Zeraora, all these make sense, but my favorite is the number 5 Donphan at 52 kills with a Donphan and having a positive KD with a Donphan. I'm curious. I've drafted Donphan a fair few times. I want to see what my KD with Donphan is. My Donphan KD when 3 times drafted is 5 and 8. So not quite where Josh is. Next up we have Lars. He says, okay, little update. Started tracking stats for a few things in my own personal doc, and so far Arceus Electric is my killer with 14 kills over an entire season. This picture is close behind at 11. Since I'm not completely insane to start tracking everything in hindsight, there are a lot of underrepresented mons. One interesting statistic is that over the last 2 months, I've used TR43 more than weakness policy. That is the TM for overheat, by the way, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have Zazo here, another obviously draft OG, been around for a ton of time, and his is going to be Snorlax, and I think this is the only Snorlax we actually got on this list, and I think that's the really cool thing about this list, is we've seen a lot of repeats, right? We've seen a ton of Excadrills, we've seen a lot of Mega Diancies, but then we have Pokemon like Snorlax, like Mew, like all these different Pokemon, and I feel like a vast majority of people have different Pokemon as their kill leader. I haven't seen another Victini. I don't think anybody else replied Victini as their, all-time kill leader, so I think it's pretty cool. Zazo has obviously been around for a really long time, and the fact that he's used Snorlax that much to where it's been his kill leader, that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Razorclaw here, saying, based on Gen 9 Wi-Fi upload, non-Uber leagues have been in, so only Wi-Fi, it is going to be Articuno, as Razorclaw is the Articuno guy and has 23 kills, which is pretty funny. He's drafted it 3 times, it's come to 10 games, and has 23 kills. I couldn't get 2 kills with an Articuno, because that shit sucks, but he makes it worth. Oh, and we also have Lars here, but next up we have Addison. She is going to be saying Aegislash, but I just want to give a nice shout out to Diggersby at number 2. Really, really cool ones. I love Ag. It's a Pokemon that I feel like you either use well or you don't use well. Like, I know Kurt has serially just over the course of his draft league career had a ton of trouble with using Aegislash. I love it. I have it in a NatDex. It's a custom Mega League that hopefully eventually I'll be uploading a movie for. One of my 2 teams does have Agi, and it reminded me how much I miss that Pokemon and love that thing. It's really, really fun, whether it be offensively, defensively. I love Toxic Tech sets, but even if you're going just like SD, Banded, I almost said Scarf. I have ran Scarf once before. Specs, Weakness Policy, Autotomize, things like that. Like, it's a great Pokemon. And the Diggersby is a lot of fun. I have drafted a lot, but every time I've used Diggersby, it's been really fun. It's just hard to fit on teams for me. Okay, now we have Lars with his actual number 1. I thought the RC Selection one was it. But he's going to say, I don't have a doc, but for me, I guess T-Tar or Coco. T-Tar has probably 50 pursuit kills. And Coco wouldn't be so far-fetched since I drafted it like almost every Gen 7 leagues and many times during Sword and Shield. 50 pursuit kills? Bring back Pursuit. I think we made a video on Pursuit. Should be back in the game kind of thing. You should check that out, but bring back Pursuit. Next up, we have Team Knots here saying, Aegislash and Mega Scizor for me. Didn't realize I had such a thing for steel types. Mega Scizor is another Pokemon I absolutely love. I haven't drafted Mega Scizor a lot, but man, another one of those Pokemon, every time I draft it, I absolutely love it. Yeah, it is 18 and 13 for me. I've drafted it 4 times. So, maybe I need to draft it more. Regular Scizor, I've drafted a lot more. Or is it 30? No, it's 31 and 18. Oh man, I've drafted way more than I thought. And then regular Scizor is 27 and 31. So I use it a little bit more defensively and it kind of dies a little bit more. Next up, we have Endless here saying, don't have stats, but I have to guess Mega Diancie. Like a lot of people are Mega Diancie. This one was one of the ones I did reply to. This was funny. Josh here is going to say, any surprise for the top? Don't sleep on Eldegoss, though. It faints a lot, doesn't mean it isn't from the work. So there's some pretty fun ones. But like, these numbers are crazy inflated. I remember I responded. I said 57 kills one time drafted, 65 and 43. What is going on here? I thought it had to be doubles, right? Because if you're playing like best of 3 doubles and you're fighting a lot, you know, you might end up getting more kills. He said, nah, it's singles, but all the games are in our leagues are best of 3s. So this isn't even a full season with Dragon Ball. I could not imagine playing a best of 3 draft league all season. I've done like playoffs, championships and things like that where they've like been best of 3, but an entire league is astronomical. That is crazy. Next up, we have Aaron12 here saying, combined Gen 8 and 9 is Mega Sceptile with 126 kills, only have drafted 6 times, 3 times in Gen 8 and 3 times in Gen 9 currently. I usually draft it when I see it as a 9-pointer below to actually show that it should be higher. That's pretty cool to do well with your mascot. I'm pretty sure Aaron 12 is a big Mega Sceptile guy, or at least even just a big Sceptile guy. So it's pretty cool to see him do that well with it. 126 and 6 times is a very big number. That is a very, very big number. So cool stuff to see from Aaron. Then we have Matt here, the Wild Arcanine, saying, I had to go all the way back to 2017 and find mine. It's damn Salamence with 82. Let's go, baby. Goated Pseudo. I think my men's numbers are okay, right? Yeah, it's in my top 10. I have 54, so I'm not quite to where you are with my mascot, but shout outs to you, Matt. I appreciate you doing my boy good. Next up, we have Pickles here saying, unfortunately, I just used Garchomp against a Pikachu has temporarily been dethroned. The king will rise to the top again. How are you doing that? How are you getting kills with Pikachu? And what farm leagues are you playing in? And can I have an invite? Please. I don't get it. But Garchomp being at the top makes sense. Blacephalon is a very interesting number 2 as well. It looks like you've performed really well with Blacephalon. 51 and 12 is pretty damn good. Next up, we have Burgo here saying big pull. Also, shouts to Gator with 50 kills in only 3 different league seasons. That's crazy. Gator is another mon I love using, but it is so hard to draft him and justify using him. I really, really struggle to fit Gator on teams when he's like in the decks or I'm playing that decks or Gen 7 or whatever it may be. But man, when you can use him, he is sick. I love Gator. But Pult, let's see the Pult numbers. 67 kills, 33 deaths, 56 gameplay. That's about Pult numbers, and obviously this one's the GOAT. I think if I had more Pult leagues where I like had it in Gen 8, I think I'd have more kills with it. This one is incredible. I absolutely love Dragon Ball. Next up, we have ZDH here saying, I don't have a direct number, but mine is for sure Infernape. There was a league I played in where it was 2 seasons total, not include playoffs, and it was 32 and 9. Dang, there you go. That's another Pokemon I'm really excited to come back and draft. I love Infernape. Great Pokemon, and it hasn't been like, I mean, was it in last gen? No, I don't think the Gen 4 starters were in Sword and... I could be wrong. Yell at me in the comments if I'm wrong, but... yeah. Next up, we have IG here saying, Walking Wig with 39 kills, 5 deaths, drafted 2 times. Sneezer with 22 kills and 4 deaths, drafted 1 time. That's crazy. I think it's really interesting to see, like, that a lot of people's kill leaders are already Gen 9 mons, or they didn't play much before. And it's, again, a good sign that the format is growing and getting bigger. But again, it's really interesting because, I mean, my kill leader, majority of the kills were in Gen 7 and 8 because that's when I played the most. Obviously, Gen 9's only been out for a year, and I've been trying a bunch of new mons in that year time, I guess. So, I don't know. But next up, we have Fate here. Another Garchomp here. I have to guess Garchomp, and the most usage would be, like, Infernape. So, Pokemon we've seen before. Next up, we have Leonard saying, never kept track of it. That's fair, buddy. That's fair. Next up is Adam here saying, I don't know the exact stat, but I'm fairly certain mine is Nidoking. Sub 3 attacks, consumes teams if played right. I love me some Nidoking. That's a Pokemon I will spam. The Nidos in general, I will spam draft because obviously they're both incredible offensively. Sheer Force Life Orb set with their insane coverage. But defensively, they're also really incredible as well. I love T-spiking lead Nidokings and Quings. I love getting up rocks. I love resist berries on them. Like, they're all really, really good. I've run Assault Vest Nidoking more times than I'd like to admit. So definitely really cool. Next up, we have Clyde here saying, definitely Volcarona, even though I've only drafted it twice. I don't think I've ever had a Mon 3 times. I mean, that's fair. That's Gen 9 Volk, baby. What's a 4 times rock weakness? Nope, we changed our type. Next up, we have Cortrack saying, my highest is Crocodile. Man's got the Iliums. I mean, great Pokemon. I love me some Crook. Just give him back knockoff, and he's like a top 5 ground in the format in Paldeadex right now. Like, it's an absolutely insane Pokemon. And even without it, it does so well. Just EQ Crunch is so spammable. Intim Moxie, 2 great abilities. It's a great rocker. It can Dragon Tail things around. Great Scarfer, great with an AV, great bulky wise. I've even seen Dragon Tail Crook propping up a lot. I think it still gets bulk up. I'm pretty sure it still gets bulk up in like CC. Last time, like, bulk up Scale Shot was also a really cool option on Crook as well. So, pretty darn cool. Next up, we have Naomi saying that hers is Megalopony or Dedenne. Megalop makes sense. Dedenne does not. And I want, like I said with Pickles and his Pikachu, well, Farm Leagues, you playing in? How do I get in? Because I would love to get a million kills to Dedenne. This is very Amel-esque. Speaking of which, Amel didn't reply to my thread, and I really want to know what his kill leader is. He probably doesn't know. I doubt he keeps track. Next up, we have Snowy Karama here saying, I'm not sure, but overall, my round 3 Mega Glade got 21 kills in my most recent completed DL. You got a round 3 Mega Glade in a Natdex League? That is something. Next up, we have Noah here saying Glimora with only 2 times drafted, 41 kills and 15 deaths. Are those all via hazards? Is it like offensive glims? Now, keep in mind, I just use Glim in BBR. I love offensive Glim. I think it's a great Pokemon, very slept on. I wasn't able to bring like the Rock Polish set very much, but I love Life Orb. I love offensive Glims. I love AV Glim. So like, it makes sense, but 41 and 25 games played is pretty crazy. That's averaging almost 2 kills a game. Which is pretty nuts. Next up, we have David here saying Mega Glade, Certified Demon. That is, again, another one of my favorite Draft League Pokemon ever. Next is Crocop, with Tapu Koko, the Gen 7 GOAT, still a great Pokemon in Gen 8, and Gen 9, if it comes back with E-Train and all the Paradox mons, oh my god, that thing is going to be good. I can't wait to draft, like, Iron Moth Koko Bundle, like, if that's physically possible. I don't know if it will be. I mean, I think if you get, like, Iron Bundle round 1, like, the later half of the draft, Koko probably is still sitting there. You get Iron Bundle Koko, and then you get that Moth or some other future Paradox later. Amazing. Incredible. Next up is H-Jake saying Melmetal. I love me some Melmetal, but I don't think I have that many kills with it. Let's see. I'm curious where my Melmetal is. I know you guys can't see right now, but Melmetal is 31-15 for me. So again, another great Pokemon. I absolutely love Melmetal. The thing just does not die whatsoever. Then we have Spencer here, Cynical, saying this is. I don't know if that's Mega or regular, but regardless, a very, very good Pokemon. Incredible Pokemon. KJ here saying Primarina, hype for it to come back. Let's see the numbers. It looks like it is 42 and 18, I want to guess. I want to guess this is time drafted, games played, kill, death, differential is 18 plus 24, 42. I'm going to say, yes, it is. Math. But that's actually a shit ton of kills with Prim. Another great Pokemon, but that's a shit ton of kills. And Nacho posting someone saying to post it. I'm pretty sure I see it. Yeah, there we go. This is another crazy one. I could move the crop for this one because it's the last one of the day. Mimikyu with 121 direct kills, 2 passes, so 123 total. Zapdos with 120, Garchomp with 119, Mega Mall with 100, Heatran with 95. I don't know if it's this is also the most Gen 7 list of all time. Like, this screams Gen 7. I played a lot of draft in that era. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but this is like the most Gen 7 list ever. There's actually not a Mon past Gen 7 on this list, so that would also make sense, but these are just, I don't know how to explain it other than these are Gen 7 Pokemon. That is what they are. So, I don't know if they've played recently or they just played a shit ton of Gen 6 and 7, but I mean, all of them kind of make sense outside of the fucking Mimikyu. Like, those of you who have been around the channel for a long time know I think that Pokemon is dog water terrible. So it is very impressive to see it get 123 kills, no matter how many times you've drafted it. And I'm sure if D-Ray's watching this, he's very happy to see that it did so well. But yeah, with that being said, that's basically it. Let me know what your guys' kill leaders at all time in Draft League are in the comments below. I'm gonna go ahead and try and link John's stat doc too if you guys want to start keeping your stats. I told you, it's like my favorite thing in Draft League. I absolutely love it. I mean, I have all my kills here. I even have my death leaders. Let's see who died the most for your boy. It's Gengar, who's also top 3 in kills for me. But then it's Seismitoad. I've drafted Seismitoad 11 times and Gengar 12 times. These are mainstays. Garchomp, I always use bad defensively. Again, you're mostly going to see Pokemon I draft a lot. Differential leaders, it's Victini, then Hawlucha at 42 and 6. I have not drafted Hawlucha since Gen 7, but I drafted a lot in Gen 7. Or I drafted 3 times in Gen 7. It did really well then. Conkeldurr is 41 and 13 for me. Oh my gosh, some of these things I just forget about. And then I obviously have some cool stuff. I have like a Hall of Champions, which I think I'm missing a couple championships on here, but it has like all my championship teams on here, which is pretty darn cool actually. I really like this doc. I think John did an incredible job in making it. Crash, NCP Wi-Fi Season 4. You know, if you've been around for a while, you've seen some of these are Gen 7, some of them are Gen 8. Some of them I never even uploaded. This is like a random Uber League I took over in because it allowed Kyogre, and then I didn't lose. This is my first ever championship, WBC Season 7. This team was this is Gen 7, and it has one of my favorite offensive cores of all time in Coco Medi, plus like crazy threats like Greninja, Volk, Gliscor. Reuniclus is one of my favorite Draft League Pokemon ever. And then we have a bunch of Little Cup Championship, APLC Wi-Fi, LC Evo, which is my first ever perfect season. I have Clash 4 because it was a team tour, and this is our mascots, so I just put them there. John's LC League, APA Retirement, APA Classic, my first Gen 9 chip. Do I have 2 APA retirements here? I do. Oh, these are room for more championships. I just haven't done them. Yeah, so I haven't won this many chips with this team, but it was a good team. But yeah, again, I'll link that down in the description. Go check out our store as well on Teespring. Like I said, you can help me out. Get yourself a coffee mug, a sticker, something like that. Tag me on Twitter, post it on Discord, drop something in the comments. I think it'd be really cool to see people rocking Carolina Roaring Moon merch. Maybe I'll do some like old, OG Miami men's merch too, just for the people who've been around for a while. But yeah, I thought it was cool, the fact that I can like have merch, I don't know, I think that's really fun. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.